Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Daniel Parker.
And I am Robert Singh. Thanks for joining us.
Officials have released police body camera footage of the Brown University shooting. The footage shows the chaotic scene where officers do not know where the shooter is. The city says the release of the footage was delayed to ensure it was okay with the victims' families. Some portion of the videos are blacked out or the audio is unclear. As of now, officials are withholding other video that they believe would not reveal the motives of the shooter.
Lawmakers are deadlocked over immigration enforcement reforms as a funding deadline for the Department of Homeland Security approaches. Democrats are standing strong in their position and demands to reform the federal immigration system. They are demanding new limits on ICE, including body cameras, no mask, and stricter warrant rules. Republicans call the demands unrealistic. If no deal is reached by February 13, DHS funding could lapse, though immigration operations will continue for now. Republicans have expressed interest and openness to some of the demands. However, other demands are facing pushback.
Ghislaine Maxwell has refused to answer questions in the House Oversight Committee's investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Appearing virtually from a Texas prison, Maxwell invoked her Fifth Amendment rights. Her attorney says she would testify freely only if granted clemency, a move Democrats call inappropriate. Committee leaders say the deposition was a setback as lawmakers continue pressing for answers.
The Washington Post is facing another major shakeup tonight. Publisher and CEO Lewis is stepping down just days after 300 journalists were laid off. Lewis was brought in by Jeff Bezos to turn the paper around, but faced growing criticism inside the newsroom. The Post chief financial officer would take over on an interim basis as the paper moved forward.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky says the United States has given Ukraine and Russia until June to reach a peace agreement. Zelensky says the Trump administration is expected to pressure both sides if no deal is reached. His comments come as Russian strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure force nuclear power plants to cut output, worsening power shortages across the country. Ukrainian officials say restoring the energy grid remains a top priority.
Iran says recognizing its right to enrich uranium is essential for nuclear talks with the United States to succeed. The country's foreign minister says zero enrichment is non-negotiable, but adds Iran is open to confidence-building steps to show its program remains peaceful. The comments come after indirect U.S. and Iran talks in Oman as both sides look forward another round of negotiations.
A federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to restore funding for a new rail tunnel between New York and New Jersey. The ruling comes after the administration halted billions of dollars for the project, putting construction and thousands of jobs at risk. The judge says stopping the funding would cause serious harm and delay a critical infrastructure project that serves commuters across the East Coast. The project is considered one of the largest infrastructure efforts in the country.
SAG-AFTRA has begun contract talk with major Hollywood studios focusing on artificial intelligence protections and streaming residuals. Negotiations are taking place under media blackouts, with some sides exchanging proposals behind closed doors. The union says it wants stronger safeguards against systematic performance and declining job opportunities. The current contract expires at the end of June.
Opening arguments in the trial for major social media companies begins this week in Los Angeles. Some of the largest social media companies are believed to be causing harm to children using their platforms. Meta and YouTube face claims that the platforms deliberately addict and harm children. 40 state attorney generals have filed lawsuits against Meta. Meta is denying these civil charges and claims they have met with parents and authorities to introduce protections to all social media accounts.
A New Mexico grand jury has indicted actor Timothy Busfield on child sex abuse charges. Prosecutors say Busfield faces 4 felony counts involving alleged incidents on the set of television series he directed. An appearance in his attorney said the case is flawed, and Busfield denies the allegation. Authorities stress he is presumed innocent as the case moves forward towards trial.
NASA's next crewed moon mission is facing another delay. The agency says the launch date for Artemis 2 is now uncertain after problems surfaced during a key rocket test in Florida. Engineers discovered a hydrogen leak in the space system launch, forcing NASA to push the mission back at least a month. Officials say the earliest possible launch window now begins in March, but no official date has been set.
The Chkhaidze permanent strike is entering its third week. More health union workers will be joining the strike, which will cause even more pharmacies and labs to close across Southern California. The unions filed an unfair labor charge against Chkhaidze, alleging the company walked away from the bargaining table, accused them of trying to bypass the original national bargain process.
Authorities detained a person for questioning in the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The FBI have released security video of a possible subject in the investigation. The images show a person wearing the glove, a mask, and a backpack. The man appears to be armed and touching the camera located on the front door of her home. The man is now in custody and will be questioned by investigators.
Vice President J.D. Vance has signed an agreement to further negotiations on a civil nuclear energy deal for the Transit Corridor project. Vance said the U.S. is ready to export surveillance drones and computer chips that would help with Armenia's infrastructure. The peace treaty, which was initiated by foreign leader, is waiting ratification.
An investigation is underway to determine the cause of the death of a hiker who died in Shadow Hills. LA fire deputies responded to a dispatch for a mountain biker in a hard-to-reach area. The 50-year-old man was found in severe medical distress and needed CPR. An hour later, the man could not be saved despite extensive efforts by the LAFD.
Valentine's Day spending is expected to hit a record high this year. A new survey from the National Retail Federation projects consumers will spend more than $29 billion on gifts. That's nearly 6% higher than last year, with shoppers budgeting about $200 on average. Candy leads the list, and spending on pets is also expected to set a new record.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner. While it's important to make your dinner reservation at the most romantic spot, finding the perfect gift is what makes it feel special. Our very own hobbyist Pascual explores how sales for local businesses are increasing for Valentine's Day.
Just a few days out from Valentine's Day, I'm asking local businesses here in North Hollywood how Cupid is impacting their sales.
Located in the heart of North Hollywood's Arts District is NoHo Hair Salon.
And so Valentine's Day is a time when you start to kind of pick up again with people doing things that are special. It's always a good time for a gift certificate or a big product package to support your loved ones.
Just down the street is Chocolate Cafe, where you'll find handmade chocolates and much more.
These are the best-selling strawberries, chocolate-covered strawberries for Valentine's Day. Half dozen is 25 and the dozen is 45. If you want to put like, I love you or te amo, it's gonna be $5. We have the bonbons. These ones are chocolates with a ganache filling, and these ones are made by hand, every flavor.
With love in the air, I'm Javis Pascual, reporting for Valley View News. Back to you in the studio.
Coming up after the break, your full forecast and the latest in sports.
What I thought was a complete life was nowhere near complete, but it is now.
Learn about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org.
So what is your take on the weather today?
It was pretty chilly last night, and we also saw a little bit of showers.
Yeah, we did. To tell us a little bit more about it, we have our friend Luka.
Yeah, guys, I mean, the weather has a very quick turnaround. Right here, if we go, we have the San Fernando Valley. The San Fernando Valley has a high chance of rain. With highs will be around the lower to mid-60s to lows in the mid-40s. Now, heading to downtown, in the downtown area, there will be mostly cloudy skies with highs in the mid-60s and lows around the low to mid-50s. Expect lots of rain starting next Sunday. Now moving on toward the beaches will also have a high chance of rain, then partly cloudy skies starting in the evening. Highs will be in the upper 60s to lows in the upper lows in the upper 40s to the mid 50s throughout the week. And lastly, in the Inland Empire, the highs will be in the mid 60s to lows in the low 50s with some partly cloudy skies with a lot of rain early next week. Also, expect some snow in the mountain regions near San Bernardino and Riverside due to the cold and rainy conditions. And lastly, for those that are not used to rainy weather in the Los Angeles area, be prepared when going out. Make sure that you're wearing appropriate shoes for the rain, and if you have any pets, have them on leashes at all times. In addition, make sure you drive safely through these rainy conditions and look out for flood watch alerts in your local areas. If a flood watch is issued, please stay indoors unless for emergency reasons. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Luka. And Robert, we have a lot going on in sports.
That's right. The Super Bowl was a great event.
And we also have the Winter Olympics going on, and our very own Alan Leyva has more.
Yeah, guys, lots going on in sports, but let's start with the Super Bowl. The Lombardi Trophy returned to the Pacific Northwest. The Seattle Seahawks win their second Super Bowl with a 29-13 victory against the New England Patriots. The Patriots offense had no answer for a defensive group that forced 6 sacks, 8 tackles for loss, and 3 turnovers. Dominance by this defense got them nicknamed the Dark Side. Halfback Kenneth Walker III took home the MVP trophy, becoming the first in his position to do so in 28 years. The Dodgers begin their quest for a three-peat as they and the rest of Major League Baseball report to spring training this week. Pitchers and catchers report first, followed by the rest of the squad next week. The Dodgers open spring training against the Angels in Arizona. The Dodgers add more firepower to an already star-studded roster. Top free agent Kyle Tucker joins LA on a 4-year, $240 million deal. Tucker, who spent his time in Chicago after his run with the Astros, hit .266 with 22 home runs last season. Along with Tucker, the Trumpets are headed to LA. Star closer Edwin Diaz, who spent the last 6 seasons in New York. Diaz posted a 1.63 ERA with the Mets last season and signs a 3-year deal with the Dodgers. In more baseball news, the World Baseball Classic kicks off next month, with the United States looking to avenge its 2023 loss to Japan in the championship game. Team USA is sending one of its strongest rosters ever, highlighted by 3-time MVP Aaron Judge and Cy Young winners Tariq Skubal and Paul Skeens. Joining the United States as top contenders for the title are the Dominican Republic, Japan, Venezuela, and Mexico. Onto the hardwood, NBA All-Star Weekend takes over Los Angeles. The 75th annual All-Star Game will be played at the Intuit Dome, home of the Clippers. Star forward Kawhi Leonard will represent the Clippers in the game. He's played at an All-NBA level this season, averaging 28 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists. Joining Leonard, representing LA, will be Luka Doncic and LeBron James. This is Luka's 6th All-Star appearance, 4th as a starter. For James, this is his 22nd All-Star game. However, this season ends his streak of being a starter in the game as he was selected as a reserve. The Winter Olympics are continuing in Italy. The United States is currently top 5 in gold medals and in the top 10 in total medals. The gold medals were won in free skate and alpine skiing. Norway currently leads the competition with 6 gold medals and 12 medals total. Germany, Sweden, and Switzerland are all tied for second with 3 gold medals. The United States is second in terms of medals with 7. On to CSUN Athletics. CSUN Athletics are in for a busy weekend with many sports actives. Men's and women's track and field, women's tennis, softball, and water polo. The baseball season is also underway this Friday in a home bout against Seattle University. The Matadors will be looking to finish above 500 this season, following a 15-34 season and a 10-20 conference record. The men's basketball team is back at home this Saturday and looks to continue its 4-game win streak against Hawaii. That's all for me in sports. Back to you guys.
We're now joined by Luka Chkhaidze covering the upcoming NBA All-Star Weekend, gathering people's thoughts and what they hope to see from the event.
The 75th NBA All-Star Weekend is fast approaching, bringing together the league's biggest stars for a showcase that includes the slam dunk contest, the three-point contest, and the All-Star Game itself. This year's All-Star Game will take place in Los Angeles at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood and will debut a brand new format, USA versus the world, splitting players into teams based on their country of origin.
How I feel about this year's current All-Star, I'm looking forward to it, just seeing a bunch of the big stars like LeBron, Curry, Giannis, and also Team USA versus the world. I think that would be great to see, and I just wish this year will be a bit more competitive. The previous All-Stars, they haven't been as competitive, so hoping this year will be more competitive and all the All-Stars will play hard.
In recent years, however, many fans have grown disappointed with All-Star Weekend, criticizing the lack of defense and effort during the game, saying that it's more of a show than real competition. But this year, the league hopes that changes.
I think I wouldn't watch the All-Star Weekend. It's just it's kind of boring and lame. The dunk contest, it's not what it used to be. It's not creative anymore. It's not enjoyable. And no one plays defense in the All-Star game. So, like, why am I even watching it?
With this new format, the league is aiming to bring back real stakes to the All-Star game and reignite excitement among many fans. Reporting from McCambridge Park in Burbank, I'm Luka Chkhaidze, Valley View News.
Thank you, Luka. We'll be back with more after this short break.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Welcome back. We have more with Valley View's Marcus Nocerino, who caught up with Jessica Michaela to talk about her experience acting in a Super Bowl commercial.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm here with actress Jessica Michaela, who was in a Super Bowl commercial as a child actress, and today she'll talk to us about how she got involved with Super Bowl commercial and the Super Bowl 60 that just passed. Jessica, thank you so much for being here today and talking to us about the Super Bowl.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So you did a Super Bowl commercial as a child actress that sponsored Doritos. Tell me how you got involved in that process.
Well, it was like a basic commercial audition. So it was going to a room with a bunch of kids. They ask you to say your lines. You go up and say your lines. I booked it. And then, but the crazy thing is when we got there, we didn't know who was going to say which lines. So, and there were a lot of kids in that commercial. So it was a long day of having everyone saying each line. And at the end of the commercial, someone like yells at the teacher and makes a mean face. And so we all went down the line and everyone got a chance to do it. Thank God they chose mine. And it was really fun. All we did was eat Doritos. And for some reason, when I was younger, I loved making mean faces at people, even though they did not look mean at all. But I enjoyed it. And that's all that matters.
Nice, nice. And how much money did you make from being part of the Super Bowl commercial?
Unfortunately, I do not know because child actors have to have a Coogan account. So from all the money that I made from 6 to 18, I do not remember what was made. And money wasn't really an important part for me. I just loved acting and being able to be on a set. So it was out of my mind.
And how much exposure did you get from being part of the Super Bowl commercial that sponsored Doritos?
I got a lot of exposures. I did a lot of commercials as a kid. I think after the Dorito commercial, I did like 5 Chrysler commercials. There was a few Walmart, Hefty, the garbage bags, which is another one where I got to make a mean face at someone. I did a MasterCard commercial with Jane Lynch. That was really fun. Once again, I made a mean face in that one. Why is that my thing as a little kid? I do not know, but I was just side-eyeing everybody, I guess.
That's pretty nice. And did some research on your IMDb that you're part of a Disney Junior show based on like Little Mermaid, which is like a classic like Disney film. Tell me like the process on how you got into that and your experience while voice acting.
I started voice acting when, so I started voice acting when I was younger because my mom noticed I liked giving all my toys different voices. So she was like, Jessica, you're going to a class. I don't care how you feel about it. You're going to thank me later. Thank you, Mom, because once I turned 18, I started doing a lot more voiceover. And one of those shows that like got me into the door a lot was Ariel. And that was a long audition process, like a year and a half. And then I finally got the role of Alana as her big sister. And that's one of my favorite things I've ever done. Disney is such a lovely place, and we got to record in this little studio in Burbank. Everyone is so nice. We get to sing cute little songs. And I also love like seeing things behind the scenes. So my favorite part was always when they animated it just a little bit and we got to watch like we got to watch different snippets early.
And speaking of behind the scenes, you're also a student at Cal State Northridge, majoring in entertainment media management. Tell me if you like being behind the camera or on the camera more.
Ooh, that's a good question. even though I do love behind the camera and I didn't think I'd love it as much as I do, my heart is in front of a camera or behind a microphone, which is a new one. I thought when I first started voiceover, I didn't think I'd love it as much as I did, but now I can't imagine my life without it. It's like, it has a special place. I touched the microphone. It has a special place in my heart, as well as in front of a camera. But I'm not against being behind the camera. I'd do it again if I was asked to.
And what made you get into entertainment media management as a major?
At first I didn't want to go to college at all, and I was like, well, I've been doing what I want to do since I was a little kid. What's the point? And then I thought, why not get a different degree so I can learn what other people are doing to help me in my career, like production, directing, writing. So I chose this degree so I can learn the business side and I can learn something new instead of, relearning things I've known since I was younger.
And what are some things you have learned from being an entertainment media management major?
I learned from one of my favorite classes last semester was just how much work is in the production side, with budgeting and having to call different places to secure locations and set design. All those little things that go into a set that I never noticed before, that's what I've been loving in my major.
And speaking of, Super Bowl 60 just passed.
Yes, it did.
Tell me, your thoughts on it.
My thoughts on Super Bowl 60. I'm a part of a lot of America where they actually didn't watch the game and they only watched the halftime show and only watched the performances. So Charlie Puth did his thing. Coco Jones did his thing. I loved Green Day's set, and Bad Bunny. My God, it was so good.
Yep, Bad Bunny's performance was so good.
Yes.
On a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
Ooh, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. It would have been a 10 if Cardi B would have came from the back and grabbed a microphone, or if they would have let Pedro Pascal just sit in front of the camera for a little bit. Then it would have been a 10 out of 10 for me, but it's gonna stick at an 8.5.
And what are your thoughts about Lady Gaga and Ricky Martin being the guests of Bad Bunny's set?
Lady Gaga was a shock. I was so shocked. I had to rewind and go back to make sure I was seeing her right. But I love Lady Gaga. She's such an inspiration. And I love how it showed that no matter what, all cultures can come together to fight something more powerful, which I appreciated. And Ricky Martin, he blessed my screen. I had a great time.
And what are your thoughts about Seattle Seahawks beating the Patriots?
I was shocked about that. The day before, my friend told me we don't like the Seahawks. And I was like, okay, I don't know anything about sports, so I'm on your side. So she was upset, but I'm proud of the Seahawks. I'm glad. Just whoever wins, I'm happy for them.
And which team were you rooting for?
I was rooting for Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny is a really good choice.
That is the team I was on.
Did you watch the Super Bowl with your family?
Funny enough, I dropped my mom off at a Super Bowl party, and then I went home and I made slime and watched the Bad Bunny concert.
That must be a really fun time.
It was.
But what is your family traditions with the Super Bowl?
My family traditions, we don't really have one when it comes to sporting events. But normally I do go to the party with my mom that happens every year. That's near our house and it's in our community. But this year I was like, you have your fun. I have my own agenda.
I see. And what are your upcoming projects? Are you still acting? Or are you going to do more behind the camera stuff?
I'm still acting. I'm doing a lot of voiceover right now. I'm doing a really big project that I cannot talk about at the moment, which I really want to. It's sitting in the back of my throat. I want to talk about it so bad. But I've been working on it since last summer, and it should at least be getting announced next year. And then there's another one that's going to be on Netflix maybe at the end of this year. They haven't told me much about when it's coming out for this one, but it's an anime. It's going to be on Netflix, and it's going to be an anthology series, so that's a lot of fun.
Ooh, this is going to be interesting. And what year are you in school?
Year, I'm a junior right now, so I'm almost done.
And Super Bowl commercials are like really popular. Which one was your favorite?
Unfortunately, I did talk about this. I hope other people remember this, but Puppy Monkey Baby for Mountain Dew. Do you remember this one?
Oh yeah.
Puppy Monkey Baby with Mountain Dew. I wrote a paper on it like last week.
I see. And what are your thoughts about all these AI Super Bowl commercials?
No, I don't support AI at all. Get rid of them. Bye.
Yeah, those AI commercials could be a lie.
Right. Y'all support destroying the planet? I don't think so.
And what do you love to do, like another Super Bowl commercial soon?
Oh yeah. I just like being like on a camera and like getting to do what I love. So I would love to do a Super Bowl commercial. A normal commercial is fine with me. I would love to.
Did you audition for one this year?
I did not this year. I've been like strictly VO this year and the year before because it's a lot easier with my school schedule.
And not VO?
Well, VO is like, it's a lot easier for me because they go around my schedule. Instead of shooting, it would be like, here's a set date that you have to be available. So it's a lot easier for me in school.
I see. And how do you balance school and acting?
I think since I started when I was really young, it was easier for me to figure it out. And they have school on set, which makes it a lot easier. And it also depends on the school you go to. So the schools that I went to growing up, they were very aware of what I do. So they were very easy with trying to work around it.
And if there's one actor that you want to work with in the future, who would you want to work with?
Ayo Edebiri.
And why?
She's just so funny. And I love seeing other awkward black girls because I don't think we get enough representation. And her in The Bear is just it's one of the best performances ever. She deserves all her 5 billion gajillion Emmys that she's been winning the last couple years.
Nice, nice. Jessica, thank you so much for being here and for being on Valley View.
Of course.
All right, back to you guys.
Winter Joy is being brought to Minnesota, where a grandfather is building a land of fun for his family.
A Minneapolis area man was determined to bring joy and happiness to the ones he truly loved by bringing a winter wonderland to his grandkids' backyard. This wonderful place includes a world of joy. Steve Blee has spent more than 100 hours building this dream oasis of fun and happiness. The DIY Disneyland is being named the Papa Bear Plunge by his family. The luge stretches 300 feet long, almost reaching the entire length of a football field. Talk about Super Bowl Sunday. His grandkids are ecstatic and amazed by it. But most importantly, they love it. They appreciate his efforts and everything he does for them, and they say every day is winter in their backyard.
How wholesome. He's making Christmas last forever for his grandkids. It makes me hope for snow in California even more. That's all for us today on Valley View News. I'm Robert Saints.
And I'm Daniel Parker. For updates, follow our YouTube channel at Valley View News and our Instagram page at Valley View News CSUN. Thanks for watching.